really wanted to create a landscape that helped to meet our needs, that gave us as much, if not more, for every little bit of energy we put into it.
This is the food forest, and essentially it's a forest garden, a garden that's been designed to mimic the patterns found in a natural forest ecology. So we have ground layer and a mid-story and an overstory, except for in this instance, mostly so, all the plants provide food or fuel or fiber or some other use for us. We have a lot of berries, particularly. Berries go great in northern climates. So Saskatoon is an example, a couple of varieties of strawberry and raspberry, as well goji berry, 3 different kinds of currant, seaberry and honeyberry, which is one of our favorites. I got really interested in growing medicinal plants when I had children and was particularly looking for more natural and alternative things I could do for, the common cold or the rash. So I grow things like comfrey and catnip and even chickweed I let grow in abundance. This here is alfalfa. It's a support species, fixes nitrogen. So not everything is specifically growing food, but everything is supporting that forest ecosystem. Essentially, we're trying to design and develop an ecology that not only feeds and sustains us, but also self-manages, it self-fertilizes, it in a sense self-irrigates. It doesn't self-irrigate, but at least it passively irrigates and retains as much moisture as possible. It builds soil and provides habitat for butterflies and bees and pollinators and all the critters that we actually really need in our cities. This forest was established just over 5 years ago now, and before that it really was identical to the neighbor's lawn. Things have succession has happened really quickly, and that has a lot to do with how we supported succession through the planting of pioneers and building soil. Also, you can see a strategy in forest gardening is guild planting. Here's a little guild. We have rhubarb and sorrel, a Russian almond, a cherry, mid-story, and our pioneer, which is a sea buckthorn. There's also some comfrey in there too. To transition from the neighbor's lawn to our food forest, we put in this raspberry hedge as an edge species that would grow in quite thick and aggressive to keep back the grass from moving into our forest. We've also got Jerusalem artichoke, which is an edible tuber, valerian, asparagus. We've got a few ornamental perennials, comfrey, a really important food forest plant. Ooh, and going through yarrow, another medicinal. This lovage. There's the honeyberry, or the haskap, and another sea buckthorn. Right here we have Verge, which is short for fruit hedge. And these are cherry bushes. And we actually really encourage all the kids to come by and pick the cherries. There's actually none, we didn't hardly get any this year because they were all picked by the neighborhood kids. Here's a good spot to dig in a little bit into this forest floor and see what's going on. And this soil has changed so much since when we first started, and this was just lawn. And that has a lot to do with the fact we've been trying really hard to build soil, build up carbon, and using techniques such as chop and drop and heavy mulch. So we're essentially building carbon, adding lots of life back into the soil. This forest floor, lots of mulch. You can see that plants that either die or that we cut back, we just drop them right in place. We don't want to be extracting any nutrients from the soil. We really want everything to die back, right in place, and start that soil building process right here at the base of this tree, ultimately supporting this tree. Mulch is also great because it reduces the amount of irrigation you need. It provides a little bit of habitat even for all sorts of really great critters that live at the surface of the soil and break down this vegetative matter. It also suppresses any unwanted plants. All over, it's a really great strategy, and we're really mimicking again how you would find the forest floor in a natural forest ecology. At the base of this apple here, we have not this one, but this one right here. This is comfrey, and comfrey is a fabulous food forest plant. It's called a dynamic accumulator, so it has a deep taproot, and it pulls up those subsoil nutrients, brings them up into its leaves. And if you want to speed up the succession of the soil, speed up that, changing that soil from what was a lawn ecology to a very fungally dominant forest ecology, you can do things like chop and drop, where I'm just going to reach in here, cut the comfrey at its base, and then drop that around the base of the apple tree. So again, I'm adding some mulch, I'm increasing that, I'm speeding up that nutrient cycling, I'm adding some nutrients to the base of the tree, and that's about all we do for maintenance for the forest garden at this point in time. It really is self-maintaining. I come in here, pick some fruit with the kids, eat some strawberries, maybe harvest a bucket. There's a little bit of processing now that we have a lot of sea buckthorn berries, for instance, that we can't possibly eat. And after that, it's pretty darn easy.
When we first started, it was scary to take that first step, and other steps have been a little bit scary as well. But you are almost faced with this line in the sand, and you can put one foot on one side of the line, one foot on the other, but eventually that line becomes a crack, and you gotta commit. And you know that you're doing the right thing if, when you make that jump over to the other side, you're surrounded by support. And we've really felt that with our community. People have supported what we're doing, and Southern Alberta is becoming a hotbed for permaculture now.